Hello, I'm the Resolute Cartographer, and this is the second video of my Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough. Here we are on the Citadel, in the Presidium, specifically in Councilor Udina's office where we left off last time. In the last video we were sent to Eden Prime on a secret mission to recover a Prothean beacon. This mission was also intended to see if Commander Shepard was a good candidate to join the Elite Spectres, but it went horribly wrong when the colony was attacked, and Nihilus, the Turian Spectre who was supposed to be observing Commander Shepard, was killed by a rogue Spectre, a Turian named Saren. Saren appears to have been behind the Geth attack on Eden Prime. While Saren escaped in his massive ship, Commander Shepard was exposed to the beacon, receiving a vision and destroying the beacon in the process. We're going to spend a chunk of this video exploring the Presidium, learning about some of the alien races, and the history of Citadel space, before going to that council meeting. By the end of this video, you're going to know more about the alien races of the Volus, Elcor, Asari, Turians, Solarians, Krogan, Hanar, and the Keepers, along with some of their shared history. Okay, let's get started. Again, we are in Councilor Udina's office. Right over here, there's a terminal we can decrypt. Play the little Frogger game. Oop, like we did back on Eden Prime. There we go. Alliance Patrol report. Captain Hendrickson reported some unusual energy readings during the patrol of the Argus Rho cluster. She had particular concerns about the Hydra system, but was recalled before her team could investigate further. No patrols are scheduled for that sector. Do we want to send a recon team? Okay, and you can see that that just added a quest to our journal, and you can get quests through terminals and things like that. We're about to actually get another quest when we go in here, into the embassy of the Volus and the Elcor.
I understand what you're saying, but these allegations are very serious. I can't just... This is serious. My reputation is at stake. I spoke with the consort in confidence, and her alone, and she betrayed that confidence. All right, I will look into it for you. In the meantime, do not do anything rash.
All right, we're going to check with Zeltan first.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
Who's this Asari consort?
Curious, you have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel. Everyone knows Sha'ira, the consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Okay, so that also actually is another quest, but before we go off to do anything about that, we're going to talk to these two, Din Korlak, the Volus, and Kalen, the Elcor. We'll talk to Kalen first.
Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Tell me about the history and origins of the Elcor.
The Elcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Elcor.
Frankly, we Elcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups. Though we are always welcoming to outsiders, our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, We discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the L-Corps groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
I like these two.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human. Enjoy your time on the Citadel.
So the Elcor were evolved on a very high gravity world. That's why their bodies are built the way they are, very muscular. And they've got these very powerful arms and legs. The interesting thing to me is that this species managed to achieve spaceflight on its own, because you think about the fact that it costs something like $10,000 to send a single pound of material into space, and these things probably weigh something close to 1,000 pounds. So it's got to have just been an immense energy problem to get them into space in the first place. But let's talk to Din Korlak. He's a Volus. The Volus are from a very cold planet where I believe they even actually live in ammonia, breathe it and stuff like that. That's why they've got the respirator pack and everything like that. But we'll talk to Din Korlak.
Earth Clan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, Earth Clan?
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the Elcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, Earth Clan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Din. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The Earth Clan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
Why aren't the Volus or Elcor part of the Council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the Earth Clans, it would seem.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
So a few things. I really do enjoy that the game awards you experience for talking to people and just learning about their cultures and stuff, because we actually just leveled up from that. But along with that, I mean, didn't Korlak kind of a strange sort of ambassador here in that he's fairly hostile towards other species? And again, he's supposed to be representing the Volus here on the Citadel. Now, I get it that he's upset about certain things, but it's also just a little bit strange. Along with that, I like the fact that Shepard just used a chip on your shoulder and that Din Korlak understood us. Something I haven't mentioned yet, they're not speaking English. Din Korlak and Kaylin, they're not speaking English. We've got like an implant in our head or something like that that is interpreting things as English. At least that's my memory of things here. I'll have to check the codex again. But it's just interesting that you use idioms like that, and apparently they get translated properly to where they understand you. But over here we've got a keeper. This is one of the other alien species. We don't interact with them too much. We will get a quest to interact with them at some point, but for now we're going to just kind of leave them alone. We're going to learn a little bit more about them here before too long, but it'll be a while before we like learn the true nature of their existence. Now, let's go through here. Okay, and we're going to head down here, and we are going to talk to the receptionist here.
Welcome to the
She is an Asari.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Safiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Avina.
What's that?
Oh, Avina is the virtual guide for the Citadel. Feel free to access the terminal yourself.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
Alright, so when we were talking to Din Korlak and Kaylin up there, they mentioned that their species were not part of the Citadel Council. The Asari, like the embassy receptionist here, are on the council. Along with that, there's also a Solarian member, like this guy right here, and there's also a Turian member, like Nihilus or Saren. So each one of these species kind of represents, at least in my mind, like a specific attribute, I should say. We're going to learn a bit more about how humans are different from the other species over time, but let's just say that humans have a lot more variability between each other than these other species have between individual members of their species. So, effectively, the Solarians are kind of reptilian or amphibian, and they are basically the pinnacle of science and technology, kind of. You got the Asari, who in my mind, again, and I'm saying that for the Solarians as well, but the Asari are kind of like the pinnacles of culture, and the Turians are effectively the pinnacles of war. There's another Turian right over there. So the Turians are avian, actually, in the same way that these Solarians are amphibian or reptilian. And then you've also got, and I guess you could also say avian or reptilian, kind of a combination of the two. And then over here, the Asari are, well, they're hard to classify, but I'd say that they're the closest to mammals that you find. Those are not tentacles on their heads, they're flaps of skin. They do all look very similar to that. They are all blue or shades of blue, and they all appear female because there are no male members of the Asari species. Okay, so we'll learn a lot more about their physiology and everything else later on. But why don't we talk to Avina first? Avina here is a virtual intelligence.
Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina, and I am pleased to be your virtual guide throughout this level of the Citadel space station.
What does that mean?
I am a fully interactive virtual intelligence, programmed to provide spontaneous guidance at predetermined locations of interest throughout this level of the Citadel. I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals, should you require assistance.
So another thing to mention here, when she says Presidium VI terminals, VI is virtual intelligence. It is not an artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has been banned by the Citadel Council. Virtual intelligences are simply programs, so that's why they're legal. She only responds to specific questions and queries.
Give me the tour.
You are standing at Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On either side of this lobby are the embassies of the various Citadel races, along with CSEC headquarters. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
I want to know more about Citadel security.
Citadel security serves as law enforcement for all regions of the Citadel, though the majority of officers serve in the wards. Executor Palin, a Turian, is the current head of CSEC, but individuals from virtually every species across Citadel space serve as officers beneath him. If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office is located in the CSEC headquarters just across the lobby.
Tell me about the embassies.
Each species in Citadel space important enough to be consulted on matters of galactic politics maintains an embassy on the Presidium. The Volus were the first non-council species to be granted an embassy, roughly 2,384 galactic standard years ago. As Citadel space has expanded, more embassies have been added. The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity. It was added 19 galactic standard years ago, despite some rather vocal opposition.
Why were people trying to keep my species out?
Some species felt humanity was given preferential treatment. It often takes a century or more before a new species is granted an embassy. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact on Citadel space was significant enough to warrant an embassy.
Do you agree with their decision?
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
See, like I said before, she can't make her own decisions here.
How come the Volus were the first species given an embassy?
In the early years following the formation of the Council, the Volus were, apart from the Asari and Solarians, the most populous and widespread species in Citadel space. They established many new colonies and trading outposts, and they petitioned the Council for a greater role in determining interstellar policy. In recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic economy, the Volus were granted an embassy here on the Citadel.
Why weren't they made a council race?
The Council races have extensive responsibilities. They must provide personnel and ships for the Citadel fleets. They often provide economic aid in times of disaster. It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassies allow lesser species to have a voice on the Citadel.
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board.
Lesser species is a strange way to put it.
Do you know anything about specters?
The term Spectre is derived from the branch of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Each Spectre agent is handpicked by the Council. Their primary role is preserving galactic stability and resolving volatile situations that cannot be handled through normal political channels. In this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdictions. Spectres answer to no law or authority except the Council itself.
What can you tell me about the Citadel Council?
Originally, the Council consisted of representatives from the Asari and Solarians, the two dominant species in Citadel space. Roughly 1,304 galactic standard years ago, Turians were invited to join the Council in recognition of the role they played during the Krogan Rebellion. Since then, the three Council races have worked together to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the galactic community, while preserving individual autonomy for each species.
It can't be as simple as that. There must be problems somewhere in the system.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
Alright, now, the reason why Avina is a virtual intelligence and not an artificial intelligence is because artificial intelligences have been recognized as being dangerous. In fact, we just fought the Geth, on Eden Prime, the Geth were not designed to be an artificial intelligence, but they were given a hive mind, which meant that if you got enough of them together, they could do more complex tasks. Eventually, they made too many of them, though, to the point where they were capable of thought, and then the Quarians tried to put them down, the makers of the Geth, I should say, and the Geth won. So, anyway, we're going to learn a lot more about the Quarians when we meet Tali Zora Vasnima. So yeah, there's the Citadel Rapid Transit. This can take us all over the place, but we're not going to take that just yet. I should mention there's more things to see back here in the embassies, but we're not going to check those out just yet because we're going to come back when we have other things that we need to do. For now, we're going to go see the consort, Shaira, because that's going to forward a quest that we got, well, that was really mentioned by the Elcor, Zeltan, I believe his name was, back in the Volus and Elcor embassy. And it's also going to be something that can continue further once we go talk to the Citadel Council, so it just makes sense to do this now before we go do that.
That's nothing. I've had my office rearranged 5 times now.
5 times? Why? What do they want?
How should I know? It's not like Keepers offer an explanation for what they're doing.
And yet, everyone just lets them go on doing whatever it is they do.
What choice do we have? If you try to stop them, they just shut down and another one replaces it.
Just strange that we know so little about them.
Not to mention frustrating.
So yeah, they're talking about the Keepers. I mentioned them before, these strange creatures here with 4 legs and 4 arms that you can find all over the Citadel working on these little consoles. But here's Shaira's, so let's go in and we'll talk to Nelina? Let's go with Nelina.
Welcome, I am Nelina. I don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today. Would you like me to see when the consort will be able to meet with you?
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many who seek the consort services. But if you wish to leave your name, she'll make every effort to meet with you.
Commander Shepard, with the Alliance Navy.
Excellent. You should hear something in 3 or 4 months.
Nobody's worth that much of a wait.
Well, that's not for me to judge. I have your name and you'll be contacted. Is there anything else?
What do you do here, Nelina?
I'm one of the consort's acolytes. Many of the people here today will not see the consort, but they expect to be attended to just the same. It's our job to ensure that they leave contented.
What exactly do you attend to?
Well, each acolyte has her unique abilities. Some soothe with song, others with conversation. As much as possible, we seek to match the needs of our clients to the skills of our acolytes. My specialty is touch. My fingertips can find every tension point in your body and relieve it.
I'd like to try out your services.
Excellent. I'll add you to our client list. We should be able to see you in 3 or 4 months.
What is the consort? What does she do?
It's difficult to explain. She's many things to many people, and something different for each. Some seek her for advice, some for entertainment, others still for pleasure. Most of the time, our clients won't realize what they were seeking until after she has provided it for them.
You make her sound like some kind of oracle.
No, not in the usual sense. She's merely a woman with remarkable compassion and a generous spirit. I suggest you make an appointment and see for yourself.
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope you'll return again in the future. We always enjoy seeing new clients.
Nelina,
Yes, Shaira?
send the commander up to see me. I wish to speak with him.
Yes, of course, mistress. Huh. It appears the consort has taken notice of you. She'd like to meet with you now.
Where do I go?
Just head upstairs. She'll be waiting for you.
Alright. So yeah, it seems like some of what they do here practically borders on prostitution, but
I see even the humans find the consort irresistible.
This is my first time. I can't believe I didn't come sooner.
Welcome. It is a pleasure to see you.
it's just fun to talk to everybody and see what they say.
You're with the Alliance? My brother's a private back on Earth.
Alright. Let's head up and talk to Shaira.
That is close enough, Commander. I've heard a great many things about you since your arrival here in our Citadel.
What exactly do you do?
That depends on your needs. I offer advice to some, comfort to others. I have a certain problem that could use your expertise.
Maybe I can help.
I have a friend, Septimus, a retired Turian general. I won't discuss the details, but he wanted me to be more than I could be. We had a falling out. Now he spends his days in Cora's den, drinking and spreading lies about me. If you would speak to him as a fellow soldier, I believe he will listen to you and let the matter be.
What happened between you?
I respect his privacy too much to go into the details. If he wishes to tell you what happened, that is his prerogative.
What exactly do you want me to tell him?
Appeal to his sense of honor. Remind him of his position as a general. If you can convince him to stop spreading lies about me, I would be very grateful.
Strange sense of personal space.
Now I must ask you to take your leave. I have many clients waiting to see me.
Okay. So, believe it or not, that is directly related to the quest, or that Volus was upset. Zeltan, I should say. Or, not Volus, sorry. Elcor was upset. Let's see if we can get anything new here.
Take a seat if you like. It may be a while.
No. Okay. And...
I have to admit I'm a little nervous.
That's understandable. Many are a little unsure what to expect their first time.
Don't get me wrong. I've only heard good things about the consort. It's just...
The unknown forces us out of our comfort zone. It forces us to be vulnerable.
Exactly. That's just what I was thinking.
Good. Then we are ready to begin.
So yeah, all species seem to be attracted to the Asari. And the Asari are actually capable of mating with every species. Very strange physiology stuff there. Okay, let's go take a look at this statue of a Krogan over here. And we're going to learn a little bit about their history from Avina.
Welcome to Presidium Tourism Terminal 3. Here in the financial district, a number of businesses offer various goods and services to their exclusive clientele. The statue you see before you was commissioned to honor the Krogan soldiers who gave their lives to protect Citadel space during the Rachni Wars. In the aftermath of the Krogan rebellions, several embassies petitioned to have the statue removed. However, this motion was eventually quashed by the Council.
What were the Rachni Wars?
Nearly 2,200 years ago, explorers seeking to expand Citadel space opened up mass relays leading to systems controlled by the Rachni. A highly intelligent and aggressive insect race, the Rachni unleashed a war of conquest against the rest of the galaxy that lasted for nearly 3 centuries. The emergence of the Krogan finally turned the tide in favor of the Citadel species. Krogan forces provided the numbers necessary to halt the Rachni advance and drive them back. The Krogan then pursued their retreating fleets. Able to survive the harsh environments of the Rachni homeworlds, the Krogan hunted their enemy to extinction.
Was it really necessary to wipe them out?
I am sorry, but a value judgment of that nature goes beyond my programming.
Tell me more about the Krogan rebellions.
In recognition of their efforts during the Rachni Wars, the Krogan were granted several new colony worlds by the Council. Over the next 400 years, the Krogan species began to expand. Blessed with an extremely high birth rate, their numbers began to swell. Faced with a critical overpopulation crisis, the Krogan started a violent colonization of nearby worlds inhabited by other Council species. The Krogan rebellions had begun. For a full century, the Council and its member species fought to bring the Krogan under control. With the aid of the newly discovered Turian Empire, they were ultimately successful.
You needed the Krogan to stop the Rachni, then you needed the Turians to stop the Krogan. So who's gonna stop the Turians?
I am sorry, but that question is beyond my programming parameters. The Turians are members of the Citadel Council. They are not a threat to galactic peace.
Why did the Council fight so hard to keep the statue?
The Krogan were instrumental in saving the galaxy from the Rachni threat. The Council believed this historical fact should not be forgotten. The Council also hoped that preserving the memorial would improve diplomatic relations with the Krogan and bring about a peaceful resolution to the rebellions. Unfortunately, the Krogan refused to negotiate and only surrendered after their population and homeworlds had been ravaged by the Turians.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
So, the Krogan are a really interesting species. The strange thing is that they actually did try to colonize the other worlds of other Citadel races because they can survive in really extreme conditions. In fact, if we ever get around to playing Mass Effect Andromeda, which, by the way, even if it was filled with bugs and all kinds of problems, I still really enjoyed the concept of that. But if we get around to playing that, you'll get to see a really hostile world that they were thriving on there. Yeah, so the Krogan were effectively put down by a combination of Turian warfare and Solarian science, the Solarians using a form of biological warfare called the genophage to reduce the number of possible live births. So the Krogan are in a bad way right now, and that's something that's going to be a theme throughout the series as we talk to Urdnot Rex, who will eventually become a group member. But let's go over here and talk to this Hanar, who is the Emporium shopkeeper.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased to see you here in my decadent emporium.
I love the Hanar.
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder, though many in this place simply refer to it as Delan. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
So, we don't have any non-human members of the crew, so we don't really need to look at that. We don't need upgrades at the moment, but he does have a license here. And that is the license for the Certa Foundation, which we can buy for the low price of, of 100 credits. So, we got that. Now, the Quartermaster back on the Normandy can buy Certa Foundation stuff, but let's talk to him again.
Commander, it is good to see you.
What exactly
again.
do you sell?
Only the finest and most luxurious items that credits can buy. This one is able to procure almost any item the human would desire, for a price, naturally.
Why do you refer to yourself as this one and it?
For the same reason that humans are so inquisitive. It is part of our culture. Specifically, Hanar only refer to themselves in the first person with family or intimates. And we rarely do so with other species. It is just our way.
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder, though many in this place simply refer to it as Delan. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
I think I'll be going.
Return soon. This one receives new shipments regularly.
So yeah, the Hanar are a really interesting race. In Mass Effect 2, we'll meet a species called the Drell, who are very closely related, or not related, but connected to the Hanar. And the Hanar have the whole face name, which is the public name that they use, and they've got, I think it's a heart name or something like that, that they use with friends and family. Over there is a little office belonging to Bar Levon. We'll be back to talk to him before too long, but we don't need to talk to him right now. So we're going to head over this way, where we see this statue of a mass relay. And there's also an Avina terminal over here to tell us about this. Big old statue of a mass relay. Oops. Sometimes don't always walk straight when you're staring at things. Let's talk to Avina.
Look at that bug thing over there. What's it doing?
Please do not disturb the keepers. Welcome to Presidium Tourism Terminal 2. You are standing near the base of the Citadel Tower, one of the Presidium's most recognizable and important structures. Behind me is the spectacular Relay Monument, a scale model representation of a Prothean mass relay. To your left is one of the keepers, the enigmatic caretakers of the Citadel. working on a control panel. You may see Keepers involved in various tasks throughout all levels of the Citadel. We ask that you do not interfere with them in any way. The Keepers are essential to the smooth operation of the Citadel. Obstructing their daily work will result in harsh penalties, including incarceration and rehabilitation.
I'd like to know more about the Keepers.
Little is known about these peaceful servants of the Citadel, though they are essential to the operation and maintenance of the entire station. Citadel regulations protect the Keepers against interference during the performance of their tasks. Failure to comply will result in harsh penalties. Keepers can be seen in all sections of the Citadel, but are typically found in and around the tower.
Any particular reason there are so many Keepers in this area?
The Keepers do not communicate with other species. It is assumed, however, that the tower houses the Citadel's primary control systems. Many of the station's systems, such as navigation and life support, function automatically. It is believed the Keepers operate those systems from inside the tower's inaccessible core. The Keepers also make frequent appearances in the Council chamber itself, though they appear to be just passing through on their way to some other destination.
Tell me about the Citadel Tower.
Housing both the Council chambers and Citadel control, the tower is one of the most important buildings on the station. Access to these areas is restricted to those with the appropriate clearance.
What happens in Citadel Control?
Citadel Control handles all incoming and outbound transit. Every ship within 2,000 kilometers of the Citadel is under the jurisdiction of Citadel Control. At peak capacity, they are responsible for monitoring upwards of 1,000 vessels.
I'd like to hear more about the Council chambers.
The business of the Council, which often has far-reaching effects on the galactic community, is conducted in a room at the apex of the Citadel Tower. The Council chambers themselves are truly a magnificent sight to behold, though few get to experience the view in person. Typically, only the councilors, ambassadors, and high-ranking officials, along with various support staff, are allowed access.
I'm scheduled to have an audience with the Council.
Only a handful of visitors to the Citadel are ever granted that privilege. I would be jealous, but that is outside the scope of my programming.
The crazy thing is someone had to program in that response.
What if someone has business with the Council?
The average citizen must go through the proper channels if they wish an audience with the Council. This is usually arranged through their respective ambassadors. Even then, few are given access to the actual Council chambers. In most cases, the ambassador acts on behalf of the citizen.
Tell me about the Relay Monument.
Discovered by the Asari who first arrived at the Citadel, the Relay Monument is one of the station's most interesting and controversial features. What is the meaning behind this striking piece of art? Is it a tribute to Prothean vanity? A reminder of their conquest of the galaxy through mass relay technology? Or perhaps it is a symbol of unity, a Prothean acknowledgement that the relays would eventually lead other species here to the Citadel. No one can say for sure, making the Relay Monument a favorite topic of discussion among academics and scholars.
The great thing is that the question of the meaning of the Mass Relay Monument here is going to be given to us within the course of the story here, but it's going to be some time before we get to that.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
So she did mention that the Relay Monument was there when the Asari and Solarians first showed up, but so were the Keepers. The Keepers were actually here before them. Anyway, let's head over this way, and we are going to go up into the Citadel Tower. Taking our first long elevator ride that is no longer a loading screen.
The Council isn't going to ask any questions, are they?
I doubt it. We've made our reports. Now we just have to trust Ambassador Udina.
No, we don't, sir.
These used to be like a good 3 minutes long, I think. Something like that, depending on the speed of your computer. And we get to meet Garrus, a Turian member of our crew before too long here. Currently a member of CSEC.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the Council.
Come across anything I should know about?
Saren's a Spectre. Most of his activities are classified. I couldn't find anything solid. But I know he's up to something. Like you humans say, I feel it in my gut.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
It's interesting how many other species seem to be picking up human idioms and really mean like English idioms. I mean, like I think chip on your shoulder. I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous here, but that sounds like an English idiom, but it could be something that maybe comes from something earlier. I was thinking the other day about how dad jokes don't really work between different languages.
I'm not so sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus will be right on their coattails if they succeed.
Allowing the humans to join us is a sound strategic move. But the Volus? No. The Hanar are likely to be next, then the Elcor.
You may be right. Will the Hanar need to lighten up a bit first?
You just don't like them because you have trouble understanding them.
Alright. And then, let's see. Yeah, we got another keeper there. Bunch of humans, Turians, Solarians walking around. And then right over here we got Rear Admiral Kahoku.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Councilor's assistants. Commander?
We will get to talk to him a bit more later. Set up packs these, what look like cherry trees, and talk to Captain Anderson.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard. The one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres. He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
I don't think that vision had anything to do with the guilt of Saren, so I don't really know why that was brought up.
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
They definitely fixed the coloring on Udina's face. If you want to see what he looked like before the recent patch, take a look at my last video. He was messed up.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. and he has to be stopped.
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
You can't just cut Captain Anderson out of this investigation.
The ambassador's right. I need to step aside.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the woods.
See, that's the second time we've heard of Cora's Den. The other time was with Shayera, which is why we went there first, because we're going to go do two birds with one stone.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars, it causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions, but only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
Who cares if we get a seat on the Council? What's the big deal?
If the Council passes a ruling on an interstellar matter, we have to follow it. We don't have the fleets or political allies to defy them. Once we get a seat on the Council, we'll be able to influence those rulings, protect our own interests. No more jumping through hoops whenever we want something. Take this mess we're in now. If humanity had a seat on the Council, we'd just send the Citadel fleet out to take care of Saren and his Geth. Problem solved.
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
The guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers. Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation, but sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100, but the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, You know something big is about to happen.
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue? Like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done. Like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation. But with him gone, things are still up in the air.
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Spectre answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Spectres have a lot of power, Shepard.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game. And the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics, doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Tell me about Barlavon.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius. Doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
Alright, so we're basically here at the end of the video. I just wanted to talk about one other thing real quick, which is you may have noticed that the Turian member of the Council seemed to be fairly hostile towards humanity. Saren was clearly hostile towards humanity, and there have been other species that have been hostile towards humanity, like Din Korlak, the Volus at the very beginning, for example. And some of this is just due to the way that humanity expands rapidly throughout space. And I think that's actually why humanity has a embassy here on the Citadel, because they basically, in a kind of a way, they wanted to have a little bit more control over humanity by offering them something of a seat at the table, even if we weren't given any real power. The reason that Turians and humans kind of have some issues getting along is that Turians were the first alien species that humanity encountered, and we first encountered them with violence, and that's because humanity was attempting to open a mass relay, and the Turians happened upon them while they were doing this. Now, if you remember from the Krogan statue that opening mass relays ended up bringing in the Rachni, the Turians do not want people opening up more mass relays until everybody knows what's on the other side of them. Of course, humanity wasn't part of the Citadel community at that point, so we had no idea that there could be things like the Rachni on the other end of a mass relay. So the Turians again attacked humanity. Humanity fought back. The Turians very nearly won a battle. In fact, I think they actually did manage to finish breaking a siege on the nearby human colony, but then the humans actually arrived and won that battle. So it was the first time in a long time, I think, that the Turians had actually been stood down by another species, and it was the first time we encountered another alien species, and it was in warfare. So again, they recognize that humanity has a lot of potential, that we're expanding quickly across space, and they want to have us basically be part of it. So anyway, though, I think that should do it for this first video. In the next video, we're going to go down to Korra's Den in the wards. We're going to talk to Barlavon here in the Presidium as well. Down in Korra's Den, though, we're going to talk to Harkin, the drunk member of CSEC, and along with that, we're going to find that Turian General Septimus and find out why it is that he is in his conflict with Shaira, the consort. So, this has been the Resident Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.